Hello everyone, it's Kiki. In this video, I'm making some fairies wow, starting off good. Inspired by the beautiful blue and black Bumble there. I'd seen it as a post on Facebook, essentially saying, you know, if you see it, don't kill it. They're a rare species of Bumbles, they're completely harmless. They're just pretty. They're just different. I was like, this Bumble's so pretty. I love it. It's a little goth Bumble. And my initial plan was just to make a little goth girl inspired by the goth Bumble. But like I was looking at the picture and I was trying to decide how to design her. And I was like, those wings are too pretty to pass up. I was like, I'm not just going to make a goth girl. I'm inspired by the Bumble. I'm gonna make a goth Bumble fairy girl. And then somehow it became a brother and sister fairies that are goth Bumble fairies taking care of the flowers, and yeah. I don't know how it evolved into this, but it did, and the little story in my head and all of that. And I had a lot of fun with this. It was poses that I don't think I've ever really done before, and body types that I don't really do, but I've said before that I really want to try and break out of my comfort zone and do more body types and you know, skin colors and things that I don't usually do because I want to do other things. And I just thought, especially her, she's just so happy and energetic and adorable, and I love her so much. But I think they both turned out really good. I did have some trouble with his foot especially. Both of their feet gave me issues, but his foot especially. It doesn't help that I made their toes visible, and drawing toes sucks. Initially I gave him this sort of like straight spiky hair, and I couldn't figure out why it was bothering me. I was like, there's something wrong. And I was looking at it, I was like, why do they have spiky hair? They're fluffy Bumbles. So I gave them fluffy hair, and they look so much better with their fluffy hair. But the story idea kind of is, he's the older one, you know, so he's been out tending to the flowers, making sure that they're, you know, safe for the Bumbles, and they've got lots of pollen in them for the Bumbles to get, and nectar and all that fun stuff. And this is her first time going out to tend for the flowers. So she's all excited, she's like, yee! And she's all happy, and he's like, and he's trying to, like, you know, stay calm and mature and be like, okay, you have to settle down because we have to, you know, we have to do the thing, and this is how we do it. And she's just like, yay! And he can't help but laugh because his sister's adorable and energetic, and he's just like, okay, I give up. But, you know, he's smiling and he's having a good time too. And yeah, that's kind of just the simple story behind it. I had drawn in earrings for him, and I totally, when I was doing the sketch, I drew in earrings for him, and I totally forgot to put them in the line work. And I started coloring when I realized, and I was like, you know, he doesn't really need earrings. He's got the cool necklace that I made for him, yeah. I mean, it would have been hard to add them in, but, you know, whatever. But I like the gloves I gave him. And actually, I just kind of like generally like the clothing that I gave them both. His is kind of like tattered and torn. I kind of imagine he's maybe gotten in a few scrapes trying to protect the flowers or protect the Bumbles, and his clothes got a little messed up, and he's just never bothered to replace them or fix them. Hers, I drew in like stitch marks and stuff like that. I kind of imagine that she made the different parts herself, like the little ankle things and the overskirt and stuff like that. Like she kind of designed that herself. Because why not? His foot. Honestly, even with where I did leave it, I'm still not happy with his foot, but I probably messed around with his foot trying to get it to look good for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, and I kind of just gave up. because I'm just like, this is not working. So I kind of got it to a spot where I was like, okay, this works, and yeah. So the wings, like if you're looking at the picture of the Bumble, they're very, very, very slightly translucent. You can just barely see the other wing through it. So I wanted to try and replicate that when I was doing theirs. There was a specific flower that I wanted to draw. It wasn't a dandelion, but I couldn't think of what the flower was actually called, and the dandelion was the thing that had the closest sort of shape to it. So I found the dandelion and stretched it out to the shape I wanted, and just sort of very vaguely went over it to kind of get what I wanted. I drew it way too thick in the lines the first time, and then I still drew it way too thick the second time. I had to redraw the flower like 3 times. I was trying to just save it and like erase some of the line. I was like, no, this isn't working, so I had to redraw it again. I was like, but it's okay. I like how the flower came out. I just sort of, I wanted the flower to sort of contrast the bumbles in color, so I made it like this magenta-y orange color to go with their blues and purples and the darker colors. So it's kind of like, yeah. Me pulling it off the screen like that you just saw, the coloring on that I see on my tablet doesn't match, even though I've played with it for like 3 hours. I cannot get it to match how it looks visually on literally any other device in my house. Every other device, it looks the same except for my tablet. So I pull it off onto my laptop screen, because I use a display tablet. So I pull it off to the side so I can see it on the laptop screen, and then I pull it back so that I can see the difference in the color, so I know if I am actually too saturated or I'm not too saturated, or if I'm too yellow or if I'm too blue or too purple. Because like some skin colors that I do when I have them on the tablet, they almost look like this really pale yellow, you know, so I try to fix it so on the tablet it looks right. But then when I, you know, see it on my laptop screen, it's almost orange, and I'm like, this isn't right. So then I have to go and fix it. But yeah, I tried to stay as close to the colors that I dropped off the Bumble, but I did adjust them slightly for both of them just to differentiate them a little bit more. So she's a little bit more purple and he's a little bit more blue. And then their skin is very slightly different. He's got a little bit more of a cool tone in his skin, and she's got a little bit more of a warm tone. But I love her hair, it's so floofy. I don't know why, but for the longest time I had a hard time drawing like puffy hair. And then one day I just kind of like figured it out. And then I forgot again. And then I figured it out again. I don't know. Don't ask me. But yeah, I'm really happy with how they both turned out. And they're both just so happy, and they're like, yee! And she's like, yee! And I had a lot of fun with this, and I hope that other people like it and they like my Bumble Fairies. I don't think I've personally ever seen someone make a fairy based on a Bumble. So, Bumble Fairies, yay! We need more Bumble Fairies. Bumble Fairies to look after the bumblebees, because the bumblebees need looked after. I'm not gonna get all, like, you know, super save the bees, but, you know, save the bees. Because bumbles are important, and they're good bumbles. Bumbles are good. Wasps and hornets, on the other hand, can go frickin' die. They're evil little assholes. But bumbles, I love bumbles. I still don't like being near bumbles, even though I know they won't hurt me. The buzz, I can't, with any insect that makes a buzz noise, I cannot stop it from happening. I don't know why, but anytime I hear a buzz, even if it's just like a fly and I know it's a fly, if it gets too close, I just like freeze and I can't, like, until it's gone, I can't, like, it's, And my brother used to laugh at me for it until he realized, like, I literally could not help it. And he's like, okay, so he'll, like, shoo the bug away so I can, like, move again. And I try not to do it, and I know I do it, and I try not to, and it irritates me so much that I do it. Especially when it is just something like a fly. Big freaking fly, but it's a fly. What's it gonna do to me? You know, other than run into my face. Which I have had happen. I had a big ass fly run into my face once. It actually kind of hurt. But yeah, so that's annoying. But I do love bumbles because they are fluffy. I have had at the one house we were at, we had carpenter bumbles, and I had one land on me, and it was fluffy and cute. And then he flew away. But yes, I like bumbles. And I like these bumbles. And I hope you like these bumbles too. Just near about the end here, I, just generally was trying to do an overlay to sort of enhance the magical feel, and the colors that I used ended up making this cool ring effect with the one overlay. I'm like, oh, I can use that. So I did, and I made it look like they had this little orb of magical fairy light around them, and I love how it turned out. It's completely accidental and not at all an initial planned part of the thing, but I love how it worked. And yeah. So I'm really happy with this one, and I hope you guys like it too. And if you do, hit the like button, and if you want to check out some of my other stuff, you know, go check out that. And if you really enjoy that too, then maybe hit the subscribe button and join me on my arty journey. Until the next time, bye.